We're going to be building a small staircase just from this height here coming down. Our plan is to come out from this doorway, come out maybe 1100, build a landing going the width of the doorway, and we're just going to build a few steps down here. We've got 2 days to do this job. It should be pretty easy. We've already wasted a few hours this morning waiting for delivery, so we're going to jump into it now and take you through the process. All right. So outside 11:55.
I think I put.
Oh, I think I moved a fair bit. That's plumb there. What are we talking?
54.
54. Cool. Can you check it for square again? I've got it plumb this way. I feel like I'm pretty good there. I'll check that for plumb. Yeah, I'm very happy with that. Oh, keep mixing it. Might need a little bit more water. Awesome.
Yep, for it.
How do you reckon I'm going to go? I'm going to try solid where it goes. Watch out for a sec, it's going to solid at that post. If I get this within 10 mil both ways, I reckon you owe me lunch. And if I don't, okay, I'm off by 100 mil that way. I think I owe you lunch for a week. That's good for plumb, which is awesome. Can you get your tape out? I want to measure what we are off the wall.
11:54.
11:54.
Want to have a look?
No, I trust you, but I'm just amazed. That's awesome. Second time's the charm. Things shouldn't be that easy. I'm expecting something to be wrong. We're getting pretty good at this, Mitchie. Where's our mortar line? So we got mortar line there. Means I might get one roughly there. We get one here in the middle. So we'll go into that join, we'll go there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do you mind just pre-drilling the timber? Probably gonna get a comment on this, so I'm just gonna address it now. We're not using washers, but these heads here, they're flange heads. Flange, I think, is that the word? Flange. And you can see there's almost like a washer inbuilt in the nut anyway. And that is so you don't need a washer. That's gonna have a larger surface area when you tighten them. And it's gonna push pressure on more of that timber and serve as a purpose of a washer. Pretty good there. So that works really good. Come on. So now we've got the set height for our landing. This is the height this whole subfloor here is going to be. So Mitch is going to go through, he's going to finish screwing that off. I can transfer that same height to these posts, and that's going to be the cut off top of the post. Look at that. Pretty good. So now if we set a level here, that should be perfect, which it is. Should be perfect this way, which it is. And if we go any direction here, that's also good. And that level's not good. I said it in a previous video, I think it was when I was building the curved bench, that I never like cutting a post the same day that we put it in the ground. And I stand by that. I don't like doing it, but sometimes in a job like this, you've got no other choice. We didn't really have the option to drive. This is an hour away from home, drive up here, just put 2 posts in. That's why we did leave it for a good 2 hours, went to Bunnings, had lunch, and we're just being gentle with them. No recips at all, circ saws. You can see that's got no movement either if I push it. I'm just gonna do a checkout now. We're gonna go 45 mil in that way, 45 mil in that way, and 240 down. That way we've got a 45 mil beam, butts into here, and it sits on the post. And we've got a face beam coming across here too, which also sits on the post. That's good. That's very, very nice. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to cut down this pencil line. These 2 cuts are relief cuts just to stop the saw blade getting jammed. So they should pop off once I go past those cuts. We just do heaps of cuts close together at the bottom because my saw blade, if we stop at that point there, since it's curved, it's not going to cut full depth in the middle here. So we do all these relief cuts. So once I cut there, we can just easily fix it up with a chisel. That should all pop out. And we're not wasting time at doing those relief cuts everywhere. You can do this so many different ways. You could do relief cuts the entire way. This is just how I'm choosing to do this in this instance. That's it. I don't know why I didn't, but this should just pop out. Do you want to have a go doing this?
Yeah.
One thing you got to be very careful about is very light taps.
Yeah.
The post is set, it shouldn't move, but I don't want you to be hitting it hard because it can also knock it down. It shouldn't go down, it shouldn't have anywhere to go, but it can also knock it side to side. So preferably we do want to hit it down, but like just kind of like that. Let the chisel do all the work. Thank you. And I'll cut this next one. I'll get this next one ready to go. And then we're dancing. I feel disgusting, man. I hate this. Cutting cypress is my least favourite thing to do on a hot day. See, the camera's filming too. I'm just going to try to play that off. No one's seen a thing. That's what should have happened the first time. Can you cut me a beam? I'll go 1963, we'll follow the post. Yep. Thanks, man. That's plumb. It's now up to the fun stuff. We're going to try to work out these stairs. Well, we are going to work out these stairs. We've got a finished height, which is this here. Pavers are going to go up to that brick. Let me know when that's perfectly plumb.
Yep.
So we got 1.50 m. I'm gonna write that down. I like that. Nice.
That's a good number.
Yeah, it's a good number. You're right. So they want 178 rises and they want 280 runs. Just picture right now. Picture we have the frame. And we've got that zigzag step of the frame. Once the frame's there, we're going to put decking boards on top of all of it, making it go up 20 mil, apart from the bottom. Yeah. So we want the bottom one to be a 158 riser, and then the rest should be 178. Starting from here, we'll come down 178, and then obviously we'll put 20 mil on the top there, or 18 mil on the top there, 18 mil on the top there. So I'm going to actually make that bottom one 160. They're definitely 18 mil. Yep. So that first one will be 160, and what I'm going to do is 1050, we'll deduct that 160, which gives us 890, and we'll do 890 divided by, they wanted 178 on the plan, and that gives us perfect 5, so that's perfect. 178 works perfectly. So the next thing is we want runs of 280. So how this is going to work, our step's going to be like this. So we're going to have a 280 step. We want a 5 mil gap there. So I think we're just going to rip that bottom one down. So what's going to happen is that's going to be 280. So that board's going to go there. We're going to do 2 boards like that, and then this one's going to come up over the top. Once you've worked out that math, the process of doing stairs is pretty easy. We know our run is going to be 280, correct? Yeah. And our rise?
It's 178.
Build a square, you need this. This is going to make your life so much easier. Normally, if you've done stairs before, you know what I'm talking about. You can get little clamps almost that go into your square, and you want to set this side to be your rise. So I want that to be set at 178, which is here, and this side will be my run, and I'll set that at 280. And those clamps mean that I'll pull my square up to the timber, and it's going to mark exactly 178 and 280. I need to get some for now though. Can I borrow a permanent marker? I'm actually just going to mark my builder square. So that's 1, 10, 20, 30, that's 178. And this side will mark 280. I'm going to spend a lot of time doing this to make sure it's perfect. I'm going to line up that 178 mark perfectly with the edge of the timber. We'll bring across that 280, make sure that's millimeter perfect, and we're just gonna mark the square. With that done, slide it across, and exactly where that run finished, that's gonna be a 240 mark. You wanna make sure exactly where that finished. We're gonna line up that 178, and we're gonna do it again. Now you gotta be super careful to make sure this is right. Thank you. As soon as I said that, I just made a mistake. For stairs, the rise has a tolerance of 3 mil, meaning if our top and bottom step are more than 3 mil in different heights, it's gonna fail and we have to redo it. And it's very easy to accidentally make a mistake marking it out. And you can just be a mil off, and your cut could be 2 mil off, and you could slightly change it up, and then you're screwed, you gotta restart it all. So once you get this bit ready, or never rush this, you just wanna take your time, continuously recheck your placement of your speed square. You build a square, sorry. That's good there, and that's perfect. So what we're gonna do for the staircase, since it's a deck, we're not gonna router this out and have treads going in here. We're actually just gonna cut out these little triangle sections here, and our decking boards are just gonna sit on the step and go up the face. And that's why we can also have 4 different stringers going down instead of 2, because obviously our decking boards aren't going to be as strong. We can't really span it at 1100. Well, we can't span it at 1100. Since we're cutting it out this way, we need a lot more treads underneath it to support the decking boards. And we're coming down, well, it's from here, we're coming down 1050. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, one more.
Can you do 160 there?
I think, isn't this full? I think. And then I think this one's gonna be 160. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 160. So 178 times 5 is 890. So this last one is gonna be that 160, which gets it to 1.50 m. To get the angle right, we've still got to set up that 280, even though we're not gonna mark it. Do you understand that process? Yeah, you're over that?
Yeah.
Do you reckon you could do a staircase by yourself now?
Possibly.
Possibly? You hold that top. So that should be flush with the top. So that's perfect. My finger's on that line there.
Yeah, that's good.
I reckon that looks pretty good. That's gonna be a nice little staircase up there. I'm gonna go through now, we're gonna cut all these steps, and then I'm gonna use this as a template. We got more beams here, and we're gonna copy this exact same thing 4 times. While I'm doing that, Mitch is just gonna fill in all the joists at the top there. I actually haven't talked to you yet. Are you making sure the perfect spacing for the screw lines? Mate, you're a bloody good guy. Legend. All over it, Mitchy. Beautiful. That's one stringer down. This is also going to be the template stringer now. Whenever you're using something for a template, you're always going to make sure that you use the same thing for the template for every piece. What could happen is that if I had the measurement off by a millimeter, and then the next one's off by a millimeter and a millimeter and a millimeter, the differences start to grow. If I use this as a template, and I do a cut that's 1 millimeter off, at least 1 millimeter is in tolerance, and if I'm using the same template for all of them, they should all stick the same. Ain't that right, Mitchy?
Correct, guys. Correct.
You ready for this? Oh, this is why I'm a carpenter, not playing footy. Now another thing I'm going to do, just to be cautious, is I'm going to write top on this side, and whenever I use it as a template, I want that side facing up. It looks good and it should be good, but just in case there's a cut that kicks in slightly or kicks out slightly, as long as they're all the same way, I'm quite happy with that. If one of these cuts twists slightly, and I do a template using that side, and then the next time I use a template using the other side, I can get 2 different measurements on the stringer, And we just want everything to be as close as possible. Four stringers all cut out, ready to go on. Mitch has been busy. Over there putting the joist hangers on. We'll put these stringers up tomorrow. It's been a bit of a nothing day having to run around. Wait for materials to start with and then run around and get more stuff. We've already probably done 3 hours of work today. Last thing I want to do is just put this little stump in here. That's going to be a footing for our stringer to come down here. And then tomorrow morning we can just put these stringers up and it's just putting decking boards everywhere. That should be pretty cruisy. But it's look nice and tidy. I'm just going to wrap the string around these posts here. We can go off this now to get a straight line. Whoa. And just have it so it's like honestly not just missing it by like a mil. That way, yeah, about there. How's that? That's plumb there. I'm happy with that. We're going to pack up. We'll finish these joist hangers tomorrow. We'll do the fun stuff tomorrow. We'll put the stringers in. We've done all the cuts. Everything's ready to go. And I might have a shower. It's Friday morning. We've got a little bit of work to do, but I'm feeling quite confident. We're just going to jump straight onto these stringers, install them, and then we're pretty close to doing the deck. You give me a hand. We'll use this stringer to mark the post. I'm just going to come on the inside. Hold that on the line. How's that?
Yep.
How's your cut too?
Yeah, perfect.
Perfect? That's what I like to hear. So I've got my mark there. Do you mind just moving that out of the way and just bringing me over a saw? I'm just going to cut this post off and then we can sit it on top. You got that?
Flush with the outside?
Yes. Is that on its mark?
Yep.
So this should be level. Fill up for a sec. Yeah, it's 1/2 mil. Yep. I hit it twice more and then we're good. Thank you. Cool. Do you want to just wrap this stringy just about there? Yep. I'm going to use this. I should be able to set this to be pretty straight. So it should be good through there. That post is in line with it too, so if it hits that post, so that's pretty good. Can you go down at the bottom of the post? We'll just double check it that way too, please. We'll pull that pretty tight again. I'm happy with that, that's awesome. What we're gonna do is slide down one of the stringers. I'll get you crouched down hard up to the subfloor and just like sight that line perfectly. And then what I'll do is level this across. So yeah, I'll keep some pressure to you as well. It's level there. Just keep good pressure, please. So we got a full brick. I'm just gonna get my first. I'll get my first bolt right there. You good?
Yep.
Do you mind at the top there, just marking with me? Just gonna hook over this one and do 370 centers. 370 and then 740. Yeah, we'll get these stringers in. I'll get you to stand here. Just hold it right. Since I've got this face beam in, we need to go down perfectly together. Go down, go down. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna go in together here. Let me know when you're happy.
I'm happy.
Beautiful. Rip it at 100 mil, please. Something at 100 mil. And it's gonna be 100 mil by 10 meters, 58. One thing I'm going to do with these bugles is I don't want to drill directly in the center of the timber, because when we do our decking boards, I'm going to have straight lines of our decking screws that will be seen, and they have to be in the middle to make it look all symmetrical. So I'm going to go slightly to the side and angle the bugle, and that way when I screw the decking screw in, it shouldn't go through the board and it shouldn't hit that bugle, and we should have no issues. These strings are also going to be screwed in through the beam here, so they've got a connection there. The end one's a whaler, this end one's screwed into the post, and it's all fixed at the bottom too. So technically, I don't even need this, like it won't move, it'll be fine without this bit of timber. I just like doing a few extra things to make sure it's well and truly braced off, well and truly tied together. This is just going to make the build that a little bit better. I reckon for this one here, it's fixed into the post down there, and it shouldn't have any movement side to side. I think this is a 150mm bugle screw, so it's going to go through the post and into there. And I'm also going to cut up one of these triple grips, or one of these joist hangers, and make it a triple grip and put this on the inside. And I might do that with the other side too, just to help hold everything together. Seems pretty solid. I'm happy with that. I think it's time to start laying the deck now. I've got deck tape. I'm just going to go over all these flat surfaces that our decking boards will sit on. We'll have small 5mm gaps between the decking boards, so we don't want water to go in there and just sit on these flat level surfaces. There's no runoff on these surfaces. Obviously the deck needs to be level, so that's why we coat it with this tape. I'll keep taping the stairs, but the top's done, and I'll get Mitch over a few measurements. We'll start cutting these top boards. So what we'll do is I'll get this first one here to be pretty much perfect, and then the rest can be longer. The first one against the house we can't reach with the track saw, but the rest are longer, so we'll set this one right, then we can set our track up. I'll just like cutting them all afterwards. It's about 1969. We want 5mm gaps either side. So can you cut one at 1959, please? So I think the way this is going to work is I think this board's going to start here. That follows that brick line through, and we should have 5mm gaps and another 7 boards coming out, and that should finish flush with the edge of the simple subfloor. It also means we need to do a small rip that just sits under the door there, and we'll need a lot of adhesive and a few screws of spaghetti to connect that into the brick. And it's raining again. I'm gonna have to move the camera. So I'm gonna start this first board 5mm in. Our face board is gonna come over the edge and finish flush with the same height as this. So you wanna make sure we get that 5mm gap everywhere. So I'm going to keep making sure the gaps are 5mm, but also checking for parallel and making sure they're staying the same off the house. It's 1006 either side. We'll just keep that same measurement the whole way through, and as long as it's 5mm, it's still good. If it's out a little bit, we'll see what we have to do, and we'll just creep sides by like 0.5 mil, and over a few boards you won't see that, and it'll get back to being straight. Missing a few of my pre-drill bits. So this one's obviously longer than the decking board, and that's why I'm trying to get, well, I am getting the boards in the perfect spot, making sure they're right before I drill it. because that's also going to go into the pine, and that's going to dictate where the screw goes when I screw off the board. Top's all laid in. Mitch is just going to start screwing that off now, and I'm just going to start putting these faceboards down on the step. Pretty straightforward. So Mitch, we've slightly ripped the backboard. I'm not worrying about rounding over this edge because we will have that hard up to the back there, and we'll have a rip from our faceboard coming over it, and it will hide that little corner there. So it gives us freedom just to kind of chuck these in. We'll worry about getting it nice and perfect when we do these faceboards. It's perfect there. I'm just going to borrow that drill in a sec.
Yeah.
Thanks, Brew. It's 5mm there. As soon as you screwed that off, I'll get you cutting for me, please.
Yep, that's screwed off that one.
I need more of these, please.
Which is these? Those ones?
Yeah, my tape's just behind you. Do you mind passing that to me quickly and I'll get you a measure?
Yep.
So these are... Huh?
They're not over there?
11.45, please. What I want to do is I want to transfer that screw line down. Pretty good there. Now I can get screwed in. Beautiful. I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to mark that screw line there. I'm just going to do the two ends for now. We'll, once everything's in, we'll go through and screw it all off. Sweet, we'll go there. Pretty happy with that. Last step. The steps are done. We're about to start the faceboards. Before we do that, I'm just going to go through, cut these back here, make that perfect 5mm line, and then the steps at the top are completely done. We don't have to worry about them, and it's just faceboards. Alright, so I was about to build this wrong. I was about to go through and do some faceboards with some miters like that. So it's just going to be following the flow of the stairs. It would look awesome when it's done, But the plan shows something completely different. For the plan, we're actually going to be using 45 pine for the outside faceboards. The reason we're doing this is that there's going to be a balustrade. Obviously, we need a balustrade since this is so high off the ground. And it's going to be 40 mil wide, and they're going to screw directly into timber. But I don't want it to be over a faceboard and decking boards. I want a good solid fixing. And this will get painted afterwards anyway, so it should look pretty good. We're going to be following the high point of the stairs up here, and that's going to go all the way down. We're also going to pack this timber at the bottom just to make it the same thickness of this timber here. And we're going to do that around this whole platform. We'll have a beam following the same height here, and we also will run it down, stop it just above the ground, but we will pack out these posts as well with this 45. Should be good there.
That's fine there.
So we're just packing out the post too. This is all going to get painted, and we just want it to all look flush and run in a straight line. The only reason we're having this piece here, it's obviously not following anything down. Once it's all painted, we want this whole post to look the same as that one over there. Obviously this one here, we want to follow down this line and keep that in a straight line. So it's going to look a bit whack if this one's a 145 thick post here, and that's just 100 mil thick. Last thing I'm going to do is just go over all these joints here. We're going to plane them so it's nice and smooth. It's still going to get all puttied and filled in with these gaps, and it's going to get smoothed over. And then this is going to get painted black at the end. We're all done. The stairs are finished. We got the little landing done. We're not going to be doing the balustrade, but we have set up this 45 by, it's about 315 all up. Just timber here so that the balustrade can have a firm, solid connection. But that's it for a little fun 2-day project building these stairs.